Well, the fair also means it's kind of the end of summer. So that means in just a matter of days, we all go back to school. But today, the state released standardized testing results from the past school year, and they're still down from what they were before the COVID pandemic. Overall, just more than 45% of students hit their grade level benchmarks in math and just under 50% in reading. Both of those numbers were over 50% before COVID-19 arrived. But the good news is there's a silver lining. Math scores have been getting better slowly since hitting a low in 2021, but reading proficiency still continues to slip. And there's a big effort underway across our state right now aimed at addressing that reading issue and literacy at its core. Kent, I've heard it described as really going back to the basics.
Yeah, it kind of is, Jana, depending on, of course, what basics you're used to, how far back you go. For someone in their 40s, like say you and I, you might remember phonics lessons as a kid. That is one big pillar of new curriculum called the Science of Reading, and the state is putting millions of dollars into its implementation.
Reading curriculum in Roseville elementary schools this year will look and sound
Whoops.
different.
This is brand new. We're taking these out of the packages.
The district made an early all-in investment into the science of reading for K through 6 students.
Books that they can read 95% of the words all by themselves.
But first, Dr. Mary Bussman says they had to invest in teaching the teachers.
This is a big shift.
To Minnesotans of a certain age, that shift might sound familiar.
We have a bud is in the sun. We are looking for those short U sounds. B, d, s, n. And the kids will read this together.
But that process of decoding words through phonemic awareness and other long-standing pillars of literacy has not been the norm recently.
What we were teaching kids is, if they came to this, let the corn grow up to the shin. A student might get to the word corn, and they haven't been taught the OR sound yet. So what the teacher would say is, well, what letter does it start with? K. Okay, K. Look in the picture. Do you see anything that looks like that? Oh, yeah, that's corn. And so we've taught our kids kind of how to systematically guess without actually being able to sound out all of those letters.
Essentially, you're reteaching how to teach
Yeah,
reading.
right.
How much of an undertaking is that going to be for
Right.
schools across the state?
Number one, it's a big undertaking, but there's a lot of emotion to it as well. Because we have to recognize if we do things differently in the future, we have to recognize that maybe we weren't doing the best on behalf of the kids we've been teaching the last 5, 10, 25 years.
And I want to be very clear, that's through no fault of their own.
Katie Pakel is Executive Director of Educational Leadership at the U of M's College of Education, which is working with the state on science of reading training and curriculum selection.
This is the most expansive effort I have seen relative to any change in schooling in my extensive career in K-12 education.
And the bipartisan READ Act, passed by the legislature this year, gave that effort a $70 million kickstart.
How long do you think it'll be before we start seeing this reflected in maybe these test scores?
I think we're looking at least 3, more closer to 5 years until we see some significant changes.
But Katie says some districts, like Roseville, which began training its teachers a year and a half ago,
Let's write the word fun.
already show what could be possible.
Some of our teachers who piloted using this new curriculum are already seeing huge gains in their classrooms, in those kindergarten and first grade classrooms. So I'm really hopeful it's not going to be that far into the future that we're going to start seeing kids actually be able to decode what's in front of them.
Now, about half of the $70 million provided by the READ Act will fund all of the extra teacher training. The other half will help reimburse schools that purchase new curriculum. But here's the thing, the state and the U of M won't finalize the list of curriculum that's eligible for that reimbursement until January. So those that have already invested heavily, like Roseville, could end up footing the bill themselves if that curriculum isn't on the list, Jana.
That's pretty tough, too, because not every district can do what Roseville did. And I like that she pointed out that a change like this comes with a lot of emotion. You know, people like to argue over which is the right way, and it sounds like everybody's just trying to do the right way for the kids.
Right, exactly. And the teachers that have come up learning this, they're just teaching what they were taught. So now having to reteach it comes with a lot of that new understanding.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Kent. Pretty interesting stuff.